to put his seal into.
Didn't the scroll have multiple names and like if I'm remembering it right, didn't they have like multiple names on the scroll?
I mean,
Actually, wait, I can
that's a
just pull up
good question.
the chapter. I can just pull up the chapter. Hang on. I
Yeah.
vaguely remember what chapter it
I
was.
totally started my stream like 5 seconds too late, so they didn't hear the question, but I guess it's funnier that way. Hey, go watch the Cloud Ninja podcast if you want to find out my question. By the way, free game, do you know that your YouTube live stream ended?
Did it?
The YouTube one did.
Yeah, I know. I stream on Twitch, so.
Oh, yeah. I'm saying that you were live on YouTube at the very least, and you're not anymore.
I know.
Okay,
just for 30 minutes.
Okay, I got you.
I know. Yeah, I know. Just for 30 minutes. So.
Okay.
Right. I think I got that.
I asked ChatGPT. And it says, can you fellas see that? Oh no, that's the wrong screen. Hold on. My bad.
Well, we can see that.
Oh, wait. Hold on.
Right, I pulled it up.
I didn't have the wrong screen. I am. All right, go ahead. I'll take off mine because I am.
Scroll, and it has a bunch of names. He pulled out the scroll a bit more, and he signs his name on an empty.
Oh, I'm taking a picture of this. I'm gonna ask Salvador Bolt about that. It's so funny.
Okay, yeah. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He pulls it out. 1, 2. Yeah, so it seems like he puts it on a new spot.
It looks like on the very left what he's signing his name, and in the bottom right panel as well when he finishes signing his name. It looks like he's writing the word Naruto in Japanese, but he's writing it in a really, really fancy name. Or like way. It's almost like cursive, but for Japanese. Realistically, it's calligraphy, but like it's like Naruto's doing its own fancy schmancy calligraphy that isn't actually calligraphy.
And then I think I'm just misremembering it. I think it was the Toads who had like a registry that told them who disappeared off the contract. Well, let me just check, because I think it was when Danzo killed the dude. Hang on. Maybe it's a bit further. Yeah, probably a bit before.
Tell me all about it. You got this, Ryzen. Where is it? Is it this chapter? Or is it the next chapter?
This has been a minute. I only have like a vague remembering of like what arc it was in.
You're warmer. You're warmer. You're hot. You're on fire. You're on fire. I don't know what you're actually looking for. Don't listen.
I mean, here it is.
If you vaguely know what arc it is, arcs are very vague in general.
Okay, I think this is what I'm misremembering.
Okay.
So Danzo kills the Toad, and then the Toad's name disappears off the contract's registry of like registered members. Okay, so Danzo kills him. And then it goes back to Mount Miyaboko.
Does it like fade?
Kashi stuff.
I don't really remember that, but this is some weird, obscure pain arc detail that has like a billion random details in this arc randomly for no reason at all.
And then I think that's how they figured out that something was going on, because the Toad died and then his name disappeared. So they had to say, okay, if his name disappeared, that means he's dead.
That's funny. I sort of forgot how they found out in the first place, so that might be it.
I think that's what I misremembered.
That's weird, though, because that doesn't really make sense unless Danzo just doesn't know this is a thing when he absolutely should.
Because he does have a summon, so you'd think he'd know that, yeah, if I kill the summon animal, they'll get alerted.
Yeah, because the reason he's killing it is so they won't be alerted.
So I think that's what I misremembered, because we don't know if summoners are also on that registry, because they can get reverse summoned by the summons. So I guess that's the only gray area there is. So I guess I'm just misremembering it. Hang on, let me.
It might be anime only. I mean, it would be weird if it's anime only, considering they would probably need a reason in the manga for Naruto to come back. But
I remember reading it in the manga, but hang on, let me just check because I think.
I mean, I know they reverse summon is not
Let's see.
the whole thing. Because Naruto didn't know when he first teleported that.
Still nothing.
Well, did Naruto know that Pain was in the village, or did he just not know that the village was destroyed? Because he obviously didn't know that.
So, I think it was they talk about the toad, and then Granny Shima is there. So then she reverse summons them once she sees what's going on.
Yeah, because I remember it was a real quick kind of thing.
Here it is. Here it is. I think I got.
How do they get to the leaf in the first place? Who summons them to the leaf to reverse summon Naruto?
I think it was Shima who reverse summoned them to the leaf.
No, but how does she get herself to the leaf?
I think they had like a portal, so like this like little well thing.
That's so ridiculous. That's so ridiculous.
I've come distance a message from you for Lord to summon them. Okay, so I think they figured it out later on. Okay, fortunately for us, Mod is pure food. I think I skipped it.
Keep in mind, it takes 30 days for Pain to travel there, apparently.
Here it is. Messenger Kosuke, big brother, got killed. His name's gone from the register too, so his name disappeared from like their scroll. And that means something's up in the leaf. So once his name disappeared, they sent a message to Shima. I'm counting on you. Make sure to tell Ma. And then she was there already, like gathering food, and she was watching the village get destroyed. The messenger toad tells her to reverse summon them. That's how they get back. So I think this was the part where I was misconstruing, because like we don't 100% know if that would count for like a summoner. Like we don't know if like, oh, Jiraiya died, so his name disappeared off the active registry.
I mean, it should, considering
and if it is,
they put their name on it too.
If that is the case where they can tell who's an active summoner and who's not, then that's just weird, because then you have like, why isn't Mount Miyaboku telling the village that, yeah, Naruto is alive? He's still showing up as active in our scroll list. So yeah, we don't know where he is, but he's just not dead. Let me just check if they referenced it before then.
Well, is the registry, is that the scroll, or is that some other weird thing that they have? I
think it's another scroll, because if it was the summon scroll, then there wouldn't be the names still signed on from when Naruto did, unless like they were just all still alive.
Yeah.
So I think it's just a different scroll of like who's active in the contract, and his name disappeared from that scroll.
Okay. Go back to the weird wishing well portal that Lady Shima goes through. I wanted to get a picture of that just to Why didn't Pain just go through the wishing well?
Go back here. That's right.
Let's see.
It's right here.
Right there. Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, they have a portal to places around the world, I guess.
Okay, I got it.
And this is where they pop up.
You didn't need to travel 30 days by foot.
Let's see. Let me check if they mention it after he dies again. Let's check this. Yeah, at the very least, we know that the Toads have a separate scroll of where their names are on the registry. So the only question would be, does Naruto count as an active person on their list? Because he's technically able to be summoned by them also. So it feels like it would make sense that his name would appear. But if it does, why haven't the Toads like said something? That's what's confused. That's what's bothering me. Because if the Toads know he's alive, then
sorry, no, who's alive?
I mean, if the Toads know Naruto's alive, it would be really weird if they just never told the village.
Is there anyone? This is stupid. Is there anyone in Konoha who has actively summoned a toad? in Two Blue Vortex?
In the anime, it was Konohamaru.
In Two Blue Vortex.
Two Blue Vortex, no.
Well, there you go.
Koji uses his ninja tech toads. So the only one who has the precedence is Konohamaru. If not Konohamaru, then there's no one. But they still have like their portals that are close to the village, and they're still allied to the village. So you'd think they would have like a reason to be in the village.
Oh.
Loop. We haven't really visited at all, so we're just been chilling on Mount Miyoboko. And then that's how they say the toads just don't care. They're just chilling, and that's why they never questioned why the village thinks Naruto's dead, because they just didn't go to the village.
This is so stupid when it's like a 20-second swim away.
Exactly. Okay, here's where Shima uses the portal to get to the leaf. So she's gonna go get food, and then she just pops in there.
What's the thing on the left? What is that?
This?
Yeah.
I think that's just their homes. Their buildings, I guess.
Oh, why did Kishimoto draw that panel? For what? What's the purpose?
To remind us we're still on the mountain, I guess. Let's see. Let me check if they mention anything. So this is right around where he dies. Okay, so Danzo kills him. You'd think the dude would be able to like sense him, but okay.
Yeah, I think Kishimoto sort of lost his marbles doing this arc.
Let's see. So is that the only panel where we talk about the registry? I could have sworn there was something else. It might have been anime only, like extra content. But let me just double check to make sure.
There's definitely a lot of stuff in the anime. Weird. Okay. Well, hopefully they expanded Twitch. Hello, everyone. I hope we're not muted. Are we muted? I don't think so. Seeing y'all into the live on the Cloud Ninja Podcast channel. What happened? Over on Twitch is my guess. There you go. Okay, well, I guess I'll just enter again.
It could be that
we're back.
The toads don't know. I mean, sorry, the human or whatever you want to call them, they don't disappear when the contract burns.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking they just don't have that, and then if their summoner dies without them knowing, they just don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It'd be kind of weird that it only goes one way. Like, how do they get the registry, and why don't humans have that?
Seems like a useful thing to have.
What if like the ink just disappears or some shit like that?
Yeah, that's what happens. So like, here's the tadpole saying that his name disappeared, so he's dead, basically.
So
his name was on the scroll, and then when he died, it disappeared.
I missed that part. So I mean, in a sense, then if the toad dies, then the human's not going to die, because that toad is that the toad that was his summon, the guy who died.
So basically, Fukasaku left the toad in Tsunade's office, who could send him a message in case Naruto needed to get back to them. So when the guy was gonna reverse summon himself, Danzo killed the toad to prevent Naruto from coming back. So when Danzo killed the toad, that toad's name disappeared off the toad's scroll list, and that's how they figured out that something was going on, because the only way the name could disappear would be if the toad died.
Got you. Okay, but that didn't answer the question. Is somebody summoned though?
Oh, no, he's no one summoned. Well, technically, he is Naruto summoned. Naruto could summon him. It's just Naruto never summoned that dude.
Okay, so
it might not be anything to do with summoning. It
Shinobi,
might just be the toads have their own registry for whatever reason, and it's not even summoning related.
Yeah, because Shinobis can have more than one summoning, if I'm not correct, right? Like
Sasuke has
Kakashi
2.
had the dogs, and later on he had something else. Can't remember what it was.
Well, seemingly this toad, or whatever this weird axolotl tadpole looking weird thing is, it seemingly knows that toad was killed outside of the registry, because he says on the right panel that Big Brother got killed, as if he was there. And then on the left, he's saying his name is removed from the registry too, like in addition to that. So it seems like that's not his evidence. It's just supporting what he already knows.
Do you guys think that the toads, they brought the toads back in Naruto? I mean, they brought the tail beast, stuff like that, but like there's not too many other things they brought back in Naruto. What besides being like a espionage and being a spy and stuff like that, what utility do you guys think that the toads are going to play in the future?
I mean, if Konohamaru was built better, he could have Sage Mode and have Fukasaku and Shima just keep his Sage Mode going, but Konohamaru ain't built like that, unfortunately.
I don't know. I'd much rather Monkey King Enra to come back.
Y'all gotta start ragging on my boy Konohamaru, bro. He's trying his best. Bro.
I'm just throwing shade because like people were saying he was gonna get Sage Mode, and I'm like, after 15 years, Sage Mode should have been the default if it was in the cards.
What if he's
that should have been
big. What if he's practicing it? He just hasn't mastered it.
After he had 15 years, now 17 years to do it. That's my thing.
He's not Naruto, but you gotta think about it though. Like he's not Naruto who can who can summon 1,000 shadow clones and practice.
Okay, but to be fair, bare minimum, if he had the aptitude for it, I'd at least want him to be at like Jiraiya's level of mastery, to where he can't activate it on his own, but he can summon the toads and have them do it for him. But
Jiraiya's trash at fighting, though. Actually think about it. Jiraiya doesn't fight. 95% of his arsenal is his toads doing everything for him. Everything. Everything.
Not true.
The only thing he does by himself would be his hair main defensive jutsu.
I mean, he's the toad sage for a reason.
Okay, he might as well be a necromancer because he's not doing anything. No wonder Orochimaru beat him up.
Necromancer is crazy. So, do you think Monkey King Sage Mode play any like would it even matter in this current stage of the story?
I feel like Sage Mode can always matter to an extent. It's just my original stance is Sage Mode, if Konohamaru had it, should have been the default. Because you have to explain why hasn't he got it after 15 years? That's my stance. If he didn't have it then, I don't think he's gonna have it now.
That's foul, brother.
It could just be my hate though. That could also be my hate. Okay. I'm a big enough person to admit that I hate on Konohamaru a lot. And he might surprise me and get Sage Mode. I just feel like dude had a decade and a half. Why start now?
Now, I think Sage Mode can be extremely useful because they don't need to use it to fight. Sage Mode has, in my opinion, Sage Mode's arguably as useful out of combat as it is in combat. The applications you have in Sage Mode are kind of nuts.
I just feel like
is all Sage Mode created equal though?
No.
I just feel like though Mitsuki has Sage Mode, he kind of fits that role for Team 7.
But then they retconned it into being ruined.
What do you mean?
Well, Sage Mode Mitsuki is now just weaker than base Mitsuki, so that's sort of a problem.
Stop it.
I mean, prove me wrong. The problem is that you actually objectively can't.
Mitsuki will get his moment to shine when he takes the fall for Boruto.
Yeah, when he kills 3 more claw grinds in Sage Mode again. Yeah, can't wait.
Who did he fight like non-Sage Mode that was like a S tier combatant
In the manga?
in the manga? Who?
I don't think he fought anyone
That's what I'm saying.
long
Like,
term without Sage Mode in the manga.
exactly. Even in the anime, he couldn't even fight Deepa without activating Sage Mode. Well, he didn't even fight him. Well, he cracked his armor or some shit like
Oh,
that.
no, Mitsuki's pretty cracked, even in base, especially at the beginning of Two Blue Vortex. He's like, or sorry, at the beginning of Boruto Part 1. He's arguably Jonin level in the academy, just in base.
I'm not down in his skills. I'm just saying, like, Sage Mode obviously increases everything that he is.
Yeah, no, Mitsuki Sage Mode should be the most cracked Sage Mode we've ever seen, by far.
Hey, let's give him this. He almost, if he wanted to, he could have killed an Otsutsuki level threat with a snake.
Yes.
Now, whether we attribute that to just Kawaki not having his guard up, whatever, but I'm still gonna count it as a win, because if Mitsuki wanted to, if Mitsuki knew about omnipotence beforehand and had that bloodlust, we know Kawaki would have been 6 feet under.
Big Mitsuki. Stop putting disrespect on his name.
Facts. No, but we see even in the anime that Mitsuki's going up against Shinki, and he's doing really well against him. He can't take out Shinki's trump card, but he can contend with Shinki in every other regard in base, and then with the Sage Mode, he would obviously just fodderize. So, Mitsuki a threat. He's strong, especially in the anime.
What do you rank him? Okay, I'm talking about kid as in their kid forms. I mean, sorry, Boruto Part 1. Where do you rank them? Sarada, Mitsuki, and Boruto.
I have Mitsuki as the strongest in Part 1 among those three.
Yeah, with Boruto not being able to control his karma, I would have to give that to Mitsuki. Because Mitsuki was a significant enough threat, and he probably would have been able to kill Boruto. Now, if we're talking about karma, that's a whole different thing. But we know with karma, you run the risk of Momoshiki, and then Boruto just has really abysmal control of karma. So I'd be safe to put Kawaki, not Kawaki, Mitsuki is like an all-arounder. Of course, he does have like stamina issues back in the day with Sage Mode, so I'd still want to put Mitsuki on top.
Even then, we see how cracked base Kawaki is without his Karma Seal and exhausted and without scientific ninja tech. He's like Garo level, who's like Akara outer, so like Ao level, who's above Konohamaru, who's high Joni level, arguably Kage level. So it's like base Kawaki is really cracked on his own. And then you get a more fresh base Kawaki who's way stronger later on at the beginning of the code arc, and base Mitsuki is actually just handling him. So again, base Mitsuki is just that guy the whole way through Part 1.
And then they're basically saving Mitsuki right now, because like right now he's being interrogated. So I think we'll get like how we got Sarada stuff and how we got Boruto stuff. We will get Mitsuki stuff. Whether he takes the fall and for Shikamaru and just like flees the village with Boruto, we'll just have to wait and see. But I wouldn't worry about Mitsuki. Worst case scenario, he goes back to Orochimaru for a power up. He becomes Kawaki light.
Okay, I got you. Oh,
hey, so you said it was gonna be a sneak peek of Boruto coming out.
Yeah, so we heard it was supposed to be today, but it didn't happen. So the going theory is tomorrow.
It could happen any minute.
EST. So hopefully we see something tomorrow. If not, the chapter comes out on the 18th anyway. So it's not like we're gonna have to wait that long.
Yeah, I saw we might even get spoilers as early as the 16th.
Yes.
It's crazy.
What's going on with y'all?
Yo, what's up, dude?
Good.
Chilling, man. Chilling. I'm about to announce this in my server.
Okay, bet.
Oh, for sure. Hey, turn on your volume a little bit if you don't mind.
You said turn it up or down?
Down a little bit, please.
Let me see if I can even. Oh yeah, let me see.
Yeah.
Is this good? Yo.
You want to answer the gun?
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay. Well, for again, did you have more topics, or do you want me to present a couple?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, cool. I'll share my screen, and I think you might have to add that up here, but we'll find out.
Yeah, I got you. See, I like y'all self-sufficient people on here.
So I'm going to go to my comments first tab, which has a lot of comments from other people on it. And I wanted to get y'all's opinion on something. Specifically, might be this one.
Oh, add this in your Discord too.
Wait, what?
Add this in your Discord. So you're live on Twitch.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Everyone. Here, okay.
Oh, you're live on YouTube too? Okay, never mind. You're good.
No, that's fine. I can do it anyways. I'm live with the Cloud Ninja Podcast on their Twitch. Okay.
Just put twitch.tv.
Sorry, got the link.
Okay, you did it. Okay, my bad.
Yeah, what were you just saying about self-sufficient people?
I accidentally put twitch.com one time. That's why I just yeah.
Oh, I got you. Okay, it must be.
Oh yeah.
This comment.
But what was your topic though? What's going on?
Yeah. So I can't find the comment right now, but what do you guys think about this latest chapter? Oh my god. Okay, let me stop sharing my screen. Okay, that's camera. Okay. All over the place.
What the fuck is this?
Okay. And I think I randomly. Okay, you got it.
I think he accidentally disconnected while he was trying to disconnect the screen.
Oh my god.
Hold on, let me get out of here.
So he might be trying to join again.
Yeah, I'm right here, just waiting to join. There. Okay, yeah. Okay, so I take it back. I'm not self-sufficient at all. Thank you for being my dependency guy. Okay, so ignoring the past 5 minutes. Okay, so my topic is: what do you guys think about the blatant, obvious time skip plot hole of the latest chapter that makes no sense at all in like every single way possible?
Oh, you mean like the couple of days thing?
Yeah.
It does seem a bit weird. Because it says several days later.
Yeah.
So Mamashi appears several days later, and then the next chapter, they say he's appeared earlier than expected. It's supposed to be like a week. So I can see it. It just doesn't bother me too much. Maybe because I'm a simple guy. I saw the new sword and I just stopped caring.
What do you mean you can see it though? It's blatant is the problem.
Yeah, I just don't. I just don't really care. That's the thing. I just saw a new sword, so like everything just went off the window.
See,
hey,
it's
Boruto
so
got a katana, so let's go.
Clearly obvious that Ikimoto wanted his cake and to eat it too, to where there's some things that needed a time skip and then other things that couldn't require it. And so he just broke the universe by doing both at the same time.
Yeah, and then like having like the interrogation still going on where like realistically they should have been finished.
Yeah.
They should have did Mitsuki next after Konohamaru, then went to Sarada and like the others, but then we're still bottlenecked with the Mitsuki interrogation. It feels like Kobu hasn't left at all. We also have Konohamaru still just being there and then leaving.
Let's not give it the benefit of the doubt. It's not that it feels that way. It's that it is that way, and it breaks everything.
Yeah, it basically is. It basically does.
Well,
and then I think with what's his name, Inojin, because they say, oh, you did it after a day, so it kind of seems to like imply it's only been a day, but then in the last chapter it's several days, so it feels like, oh yeah, in the last chapter we're told we time skipped a couple days, and then in a new chapter it feels like, oh, it couldn't have been more than a day.
Here we go.
I do see it. I just like I said, I'm a simple dude. I saw the new sword. I saw Sumure's design. I said, you know what?
There we go.
It's fine with me.
Okay, I got my share screen working now. A billion years later, but better late than never.
This guy.
All right. So this comment right here. Shout out, Crybaby Otantoto. So Crybaby Otantoto had a very interesting comment on our Boruto TBV Chapter 28 blind reaction.
Wait, hold up.
Yeah.
Can you change your name, Crybaby? Crybaby?
Well, free game. Let's not sell them short. You got to say the whole thing.
What?
Well, what's after Crybaby?
I shut down after Crybaby.
Yeah, well, they're from Ontario, clearly. Okay, so they had a very interesting comment. That's basically everything that me and Ryzen said, but explained thoroughly in a long comment. So they say this chapter really doesn't make any sense. Last chapter ended with a time skip of several days later. This chapter begins with Inojin training. Is this a flashback, or several days later was a flash forward? But the confusion doesn't end here. The first scene is Boruto.
Hold on. Stop. I'm sorry. It's a lot of static.
There is indeed a lot of static. Juju, are you devouring your microphone?
Juju,
Is me?
that you?
Well, that's my guess. Okay, well,
Yeah, it's you, Juju.
back to it.
Just stop.
Yeah, so anyways, so the first scene of the chapter.
Crybaby said what?
Yeah.
Start from the beginning.
Yeah, so starting all over again. So, Crybaby said, this chapter really doesn't make any sense. Last chapter ended with a time skip of several days later. This chapter begins with Inojin training. Is that a flashback, or that several days later was a flash forward? But the confusion doesn't end here. The first scene of the chapter was Boruto telling Inojin that he needs to learn the new jutsu in 1 day. The second scene, Sai asks his sensory men to check Konohamaru's mental conversation of the last 5 minutes. And it's not like the scene are just out of order. It's Ikimoto who forgot what the heck he's doing. So let's remember, Mitsuki enters the interrogation room. Konohamaru exits and stays out of the door. Shikamaru summons Shikadai in his office for a talk. Sumire gives Boruto the repaired sword, and did it to take Sumire like half a minute to repair it? Or considering she said it was going to take like all week or whatever last time. Same with Inojin, learning his jutsu in a day, but whatever. Immediately after, Shikamaru calls everyone via Inojin. We clearly see Boruto and Sumire with the repaired sword, and at the same time, Mitsuki in...
While you're looking for that,
in the interrogation, these two scenes cannot happen at the same time, unless Lord Kobu took a 1-day break from the interrogation and tell Mitsuki to meet again a day later to resume. Then Mamushi arrives and Shikamaru says he's several days ahead of schedule, and Kobu and Mitsuki are still in the interrogation room. What is happening? When is it happening? Okay, sorry for the game. Go ahead.
Shit. You're so animated, bro. I love it.
Thank
you. What I was going to say is maybe he perfected it faster, or maybe a little bit slower than they expected, or possibly everything is not happening in a cohesive order. Like this is happening at this hour and this is happening at this hour. They can be spacing out the chapters through days.
See, but the problem here is, let's remember last chapter, we see that the interrogation with Konohamaru is going to take place.
Mm-hmm.
And this chapter, several days later, it's still going on.
Yeah, I mean, how long? You don't know how long interrogation take. You think they're just going to interrogate you for 1 day Have you ever been in an interrogation room? Not
But
saying I
it's
have,
so
but yeah,
clear.
you're gonna keep on going back until they can break you or get some information out of you. So I
It's
don't think the
so
interrogation
clear
happened
that's not
once.
what's happening, though, especially since he doesn't think it's
It's very
Konohamaru anymore,
clear.
See,
anyways.
the problem becomes because remember, in the last chapter we had Shikamaru talking with Konohama.
Exactly.
So Sai asks, what was Konohamaru talking about in the last several minutes? Was he talking to anyone using the mind transmission jutsu? They say no. So the second that happens, Mitsuki walks in. So Mitsuki's sitting in, and then Boruto gets his sword. So like what the comments are saying is, oh, so did Mitsuki? At least I'm thinking is what he's trying to say. Mitsuki just sat down, and then for some reason, either Kobu said, you know what, you can get up. I'm tired. Let's take this up. Let's take this back up in another day.
That's not
Or
happening.
the
It's so
timelines don't fully
clear.
line up. Like
It doesn't line up.
yeah.
There's no justification. It's the most blatant thing of all time.
It's the multiverse.
It has to be at this point. The timeline, the fabric of space itself is literally ripping apart.
I mean, that's a
Seems.
possibility. You got Koji messing with shit, so I mean, that could be a ramification.
Hey, I'll give
There's
you that.
always,
If,
there's always downsides to everything.
you know what? Free game. If that happens, I'll eat cake. What's the saying? It's not that.
I don't
What is
know,
it?
but they say what it say? Good intentions leads to hell or some shit like that.
That's
Road
not
to good
what I was saying.
intentions leads
My saying, but I like it.
the road of good intentions. Like I'm saying basically that Koji most likely has good intentions, but his good intentions could lead them down the road to destruction. That's what I'm getting at.
Oh, I'll eat crow. That's what it was. Not I'll eat toe. Not I'll eat foot. Not I'll eat cake.
Oh
It's
my god, this
crow.
guy. Okay, all right.
No, I like it. I like it if that's what they go with. It's clearly, obviously, not going to be what they're going with, and Ikimoto's being terrible, but I like it regardless. Until they inevitably let me down. But Juju, I'm curious what you think about this. Assuming you're still here.
Yeah, my bad. About what exactly?
The timeline inconsistency, to put it as nicely as I can.
Well, I mean, I'm kind of used to it from like watching the anime. Because
Brutal.
if you look at the anime's timeline, it doesn't really line up with the manga's timeline. But
Yeah,
even within the
but
manga's
at
timeline,
least
yeah, it
the
is a
manga and anime, independent of one another, are consistent to themselves. Ikimoto isn't just being inconsistent to the manga, he's being inconsistent to his very own same chapter. Doesn't make sense. You can't get worse than that. But please take it away.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have. I mean, you said like, what are my thoughts on it? I mean, I was gonna say I'm pretty much used to it. I mean, it's not really surprising,
That's
to be
brutal.
honest.
Oh yeah,
A lot
don't
of
worry, Oodie. It's
inconsistencies going
always
on here.
been this bad.
Yeah.
Is there any? Can you point out any? Sorry, Juju. Would you finish speaking? My bad.
Yeah, I was done. You can go ahead.
Oh, okay. Can you guys point out any other inconsistency in any other manga chapter off the top of that?
We have a whole tab of mistakes for this very reason.
This guy makes tabs. You might as well just create a spreadsheet.
This one I might as well. You're right.
Yeah.
I mean, so are we saying inconsistencies specifically in the manga?
Yeah. Explain it to him a little bit better, because I think Juju would just probably walk away or some shit like that.
All good. Yeah, a lot of these are
I think the Jogan is a massive inconsistency if we're just looking at the series as a whole. But even the manga particularly, it seems to be inconsistent if we're going off of the idea that the Boruto manga is an extension of the last movie. which shows like Boruto and Toneri and stuff, which is then extended to the manga, or not the manga, I'm sorry, but the anime. Um, but you said specifically in the manga, like for not using anything else, just the manga.
This is manga chapter, I should say.
I mean, wait, so are we talking about like, are we talking about, are we talking about things that are like, are we talking generally speaking, or are we talking about specific things that have happened that were inconsistent?
No, like in this specific manga panel that they're bringing up.
Which one? Let me see. The one on Ood screen?
I'm just bringing up a bunch of weird random ones, but yeah. So I guess these are Boruto's divine trees now. Shikamaru says they're your divine trees.
Can you go back? Can you go back to the inconsistencies so he can give his point?
Oh yeah. These wherever they are, I might have.
Fuck you, write paragraphs. Oh my goodness.
Okay, right here.
If you ever text me, you will never get a text back from me.
Gotcha. Yeah, this chapter doesn't make any sense because of the several days later time skip. But please make your argument.
Yeah, I mean, well, I think a major inconsistency here is also just how Damon's ability functions. I guess people haven't pointed that out. But, you know, they say that the success condition that actualizes his reflection ability is touching people. But there's like scans that are implicit of him not touching anyone or him not being around anyone, but yet his ability still reflects.
Yeah, I don't think it's an inconsistency. I think Bug is just wrong.
You think Bug is wrong, but Amato confirms what Bug says.
I think that Ada and Daemon would have reason to lead Bug on to be wrong, and then you could also apply that to Daemon, considering they don't want Code to know the extent of their abilities.
Yeah, but what about, I'm saying, like, if Amato is saying the same thing that Bug is saying, and Amato has created them, then what Bug is saying is probably right.
Well, first of all, Amado didn't create Ada and Daemon. He just gave them Shibai cells, and he didn't know what abilities, if any, they would awaken.
Shibai cells are the things that allowed them to unlock their abilities. So you still should have some sort of knowledge. I'm not saying he has full knowledge, obviously, because, you know, they unlock certain things that maybe he wasn't present for. But at least the things that he speaks about, which he speaks about the reflection ability in particular, it seems like he has knowledge on.
But how would he have knowledge of that?
How would he have knowledge of that? Based on his observations, just seeing the mechanics of the ability.
Well, then that would be the same for Bug.
That would be the only way he would know. I mean, there's no other way he would know.
Yeah, exactly. Unless you want to say that Ishiki told him, or Ada and Daemon told him. But at that point,
that could also work. Yeah, Ishiki could have told him. Maybe he has like some scientific ninja tool that he plugged into their body that just told him. Like, it's a bunch of possibilities that we don't really know.
I mean, that's.
But
funny.
It doesn't, like, Amato doesn't seem like the type of person to make statements about things that he doesn't really have knowledge on.
I feel like that's some kind of fallacy, but I definitely think that considering Koji's exists, and Koji awakened his Shinjutsu, and Amado seemed to have no knowledge of that. Same with Ada's omnipotence, he seemed to have no knowledge of that either.
He didn't make any claims on it, though. That's the difference. Like, because he doesn't have any knowledge on it, he doesn't make any claims on it. Right.
So in my opinion, he's making claims on things that he thinks is true.
I don't think there's any example where he's made a statement about something he literally had no knowledge on.
Whether or not Akabe is going to revive.
I'm pretty sure that was like a hypothesis. I don't think that was something that he was outright claiming.
Well, now we're
like,
playing,
bro, if he was claiming that, he's insane. There's no way about to say it. He's insane. Like, he had to be like in an emotional state. Like, and even then, I mean, I probably could grant you that specifically with Delta, like, yeah, maybe he's made some false claims just because he has this very irrational emotional connection to Delta, and he'll do whatever it takes to bring her back. But as far as like other people outside of that, I just haven't seen make statements or make claims about these people that have just been baseless in nature.
I mean, to be fair, we're also talking about Amado, the sus, traitor, betrayal guy, imposter dude.
Well, that is true. Yeah, he is a bit deceptive. The only reason I believe him here is that, like, he's trying to gain the trust of Konoha, and to gain the trust of these people, it'd have to be telling them facts and, you know, things that are actually true. Because if he's telling them lies, and that just leads them to not trust him even further, which is kind of going against his goal. So I do think like when he's telling them their abilities and how it works, even in this case with Boruto and Kawaki, because I mean their lives are literally on the line. They're like literally protecting these people. I just don't think it makes sense within this scenario that he would lie to them.
If Amado's smart, then he would tell them what they think they want to know, which would be what they would think the answer to the abilities would be. But he would be like the move behind the move, the ninja sort of deception, where he would still just be one step ahead. Plus, he would want to use that as sort of a leverage in the first place.
Do you think they have like any sort of precognition about the ability or any sort of preconceived notion about it though?
Who's they?
They as in Konoha or people like Boruto and Kawaki.
Boruto and Kawaki,
Like
if they awaken their own
at least
Shinjutsu.
the mechanics of the ability specifically.
Yeah, it would only be if they awaken the Shinjutsu themselves, in my opinion, since it'd probably be the same as the Mangekyo Sharingan instinct thing that was stated by Sasuke.
So wait, how's that answer my question? Because I'm asking specifically like how would people of Konoha know about it, like the mechanics.
Well, yeah, they would just listen to what they were told or see based on observation.
Right. So I'm trying to understand what you're saying because you said earlier that he could use that against them, like if they have some sort of I guess preconceived thought about how the ability works, and
Yeah,
he could utilize that against them.
so if
I
it
just fail to
looks
see
like
I just fail to see the reason for that. Like, how does that help him?
because if it looks like it works that way and it doesn't actually work that way, but they think it does, then that's not actually harming Amado at the current time. It's only going to play a factor and give them a leg up
it
when
creates
it
the
needs to.
possibility though. That's the bad thing, right? Because the possibility now is created that if they do find out that that's going to work against his plans because he's trying to become, become in an alliance with Konoha, right? That possibility wouldn't exist if he just told them the truth. And if he tells them the truth, then I mean, I don't see a negative that comes out of that. Like, what's the negative out of that?
We just don't have enough information yet, since he clearly has some sort of goal.
It definitely is like sort of a discussion about like theories. I don't think it's something we could really argue about very in depthly, but
yeah, I definitely do think he could just be wrong based on observation. So the exact same thing that Bug came to.
I mean, I guess in this case we would have to kind of appeal to what we've seen with his character before. So like when he spoke about Ishiki's abilities in particular, he seemed to have a very good idea of how they worked. And that allowed Naruto and Sasuke to be a bit more effective against Ishiki. And there's also other examples like when he talks about Ada's abilities um or Jigen's abilities, right? Like he just seems to be making claims that are true. Therefore, that gives me a lot of confidence to say that the claim he's making now about Daemon's abilities are true. Um,
So do you think it's a writing inconsistency that Amado made cyborgs stronger than Jigen, and then when Jigen told him to get rid of those cyborgs, he did, despite wanting to kill Jigen?
um, well, I wouldn't say as in. I guess he just had to figure out another methodology to overcome, Jigen's strength, which was coming across Naruto and Sasuke, right?
Well, Naruto and Sasuke were weaker than Jigen. As a matter of fact, when Amado defected to Konoha, he thought that Naruto was dead at the time.
Well, they
Or
can
still
be
sealed.
weaker than Jigen and still strong enough to the point where they weaken his power, right? Like as long as Naruto and Sasuke are strong enough to incentivize him to use enough power that breaks down his body, that's still going to allow Amado's plan to follow through because now he can just send Kashin Koji in, right, to finish the job.
Yeah, let's also
So
remember though
I think
that
that's probably the plan he came up with.
I mean, I also think it's kind of weird that Amado stayed there when he knew that Jigen left to go fight Naruto and Sasuke. So that when Jigen came back, Amado started healing Jigen.
I don't think he was healing him.
He hooked him up to like scientific ninja tech to get him to quote unquote less than 10%.
Oh, you're talking about when he was recharging after the fight. Yeah, he was recharging them. Yeah.
Yeah, that was via Amado's tech or whatever.
I mean, I think the plan still can follow through so long as he wasn't like because Jigen isn't going to recharge to 100% in a small amount of time. In that small amount of time, it's probably going to take days. So I mean, his plan still fits within the time frame. If this was his plan, theoretically.
Yeah, but why risk it unless he's just that confident that Koji definitely could kill 10% Jigen?
Yeah, I think he's just ultra confident in Kashin Koji being able to take down 10% Jigen. I think it follows if Kashin Koji is supposed to be somewhat comparable to Naruto, which is consistent throughout multiple, sources.
Sure, but then
And
what would be
Naruto
the
has the
reason?
capabilities of like fighting above 10% Jigen level.
But what would be the reason of doing that, letting him heal up to 10%?
Well, the reason is just
in the
because
first
he has
place?
like theoretically under this condition he has no other alternative, right? Because Jigen's not going to allow him to have cyborgs that's just walking around capable of killing him. So he has to come up with this other deceptive strategy that's going to allow him to uh, make Ishiki reincarnate.
What I mean is that when Code left and Delta's just around, but whatever, considering he just shut her off, Boro's gone, Code's guarding the Tin Tails. Why would he wait for Jigen to get back to enact his plan rather than do it as soon as Jigen leaves?
Do it as soon as Jigen leaves. So you're saying why wouldn't he send Kashin Koji to where Jigen is to fight him there?
No. I'm saying, why would he not defect to Konoha or shut down Delta or do everything that he was planned to do the second he did it instead of after Jigen got back and after he started healing him?
Well, we don't know when he started like making his plans to defect to Konoha.
I mean,
Like,
making the
that's kind of a big unknown.
preparations, not
But he
the
definitely could have been
ideas.
preparing prior to Jigen getting there, and he just didn't have the time capable for him to get all of his scientific equipment that's important and then go all the way to Konoha. Like,
Oh,
it's
the only
just
thing he took was Akabe's cell fragments.
was that the I don't know if that was the only thing. Now that's definitely one of the things. I wouldn't say the only thing.
I think he took two things. I forget what two things were, but they were both pretty simple. In fact, Koji comments on the fact that he's going with like practically nothing.
Yeah, I would have to. I don't remember that specifically, but I remember him saying like maybe it seemed like he was going with nothing because I know he only had a briefcase, but we're not very sure what was in the briefcase. Maybe it could have been a flash drive in the bookcase that he had to fucking upload shit from the computers that are in Kara's hideout into, right? Which could take time. Like we just don't know.
Yeah. Do you remember what chapter it is?
Well, if it's the chapter where
Just
it's
let
like
me
Kashin
load up
Koji and
for this.
Delta are interacting and he's defecting, that's right after the Jigen fight. The Jigen fight is like late 30s, early 40s, so I'll probably go to like early 40s.
Yeah. Yeah, 36 was
But
not
yeah,
it.
it's pretty interesting thing. I think it is a bit weird, I'm not gonna lie. Like that's my kind of thing that I agree with you on. Like Ikimoto's timing throughout the manga is pretty inconsistent, like with how he does things. I mean, so yeah.
For sure. Okay, I think chapter 44 titled Amado probably is going to be it.
You know,
Yeah, this right
I
here.
need to reread Boruto, man. I still have like pretty good knowledge on it, but I need to definitely more stuff I could know.
It's good, yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so I got it right here. So you got the flu panel. Sorry to keep you waiting, Kashin. Yeah. So he's keeping Koji waiting. Everything's ready now, so maybe you could say that he's doing the preparations. It's just weird that he's preparing for that long, because again, that's all
That's
you're
all you
taking.
know. It
So
doesn't look, yeah. It does. So he says it doesn't look like much, yeah, because that's just because he just has a briefcase with him and nothing else, yeah.
yeah, so he's saying what he does have though. Only need one section of cell fragments and the digitized data aggregate. So we can make
I
theories of
think
what
that's
this
also
is, but
Osuzuki. I think that's also Ishiki's data as well, because
I was thinking the
if he
Shibai's
gave,
data.
I mean, how else would he give Kawaki to Karma if he didn't take Ishiki's data with him?
It could also be whatever scientific ninja tech he made for the new Delta clone.
But I'm saying, like, would it not be any sort of equipment to build a new Karma if necessary?
Yeah. Probably what he did to restore Kawaki's karma.
Yeah. So it was probably like Delta's DNA or Shiba's DNA, Ishiki's DNA, maybe could be some Tintel's DNA. Any sort of thing that would be linked to the Otsutsuki that could be somewhat useful is probably what he has, which we don't really know. We can guess, but yeah.
Yeah, I guess that would be not written in the series, but if I were to write it in, I think that'd be a really good explanation for why he couldn't leave until Jigen got back, to where he never got the chance to get Jigen's, I guess, digitize aggregate data or whatever it is, cell fragments, whatever you want to think it is, because he never needed to heal before. So he needed this situation to get Jigen's thing so that he can now prepare to leave.
Right.
That'd be cool.
No, that is smart.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's a decent explanation. Yeah.
Okay. I like it. Okay.
I actually need to start doing this more. I need to start coming on podcasts discussing Boruto and like bouncing ideas off of people so I can strengthen my takes and stuff like that. So
Yeah, you should come on Walky Talky. We got a lot of talks over there.
I was supposed to so long ago, and I don't know what I'll be doing, but yeah,
It was
we
because
should
you were
definitely set
doing
it up.
college.
Oh yeah, it probably is, bro. I'm out of school now. That's probably why I've
Oh, okay.
kind of ready to get on there. But
I got you.
yeah, definitely should set that up. But
All
yeah,
right, cool.
Is there more to talk about on this topic, or?
On this one, no. We could just do a different topic if you want. I
Sure,
got
sure.
plenty of topics. All right, let's just see what this
Sure.
is.
I like the power scaling elements, but we can also like talk about theories as well. I love talking about theories.
Have you been into Two Blue Vortex recently, or have you been a little bit off it recently?
I've been into it. I'm ready for the spoilers, bro. I'm ready.
Ooh, okay. Well, this is a topic basically bashing Two Blue Vortex. So do you want to skip it, or do you want to do it even more now?
Bashing Two Blue Vortex. Should we be bashed? I don't know if we should be doing that on the pod. Maybe we should just be uplifting. But if you want to, we can. Like, if it's like a very bad criticism that we can easily destroy, I mean, we can. But if not, maybe you can move on. You can.
Yeah,
I mean, you might as well just read it. You might as well just read it.
Okay. We'll read it. It's a little bit long. It's this whole thing and this all combined.
All right, bet.
Okay. We'll read it. So, is it just me, Juju, or has Two Blue Vortex been feeling like it's been going through the motions recently? It still has its quirks, but it doesn't feel like it's been overly good or bad. Story-wise, it just feels empty. So thoughts so far?
Why empty?
Well, free game, I'll tell you why. Things are happening, but it's just events. It's things happening, but that's it. It doesn't feel like it's progressing the story. Good buildup is noticeable and good, but this doesn't feel like that. It's just things happening. At least in the first 2 arcs, there were still obvious things to latch on to. But it feels like ever since getting back from the Sand mission, the vortex of fate that has been spinning again since Chapter 1 is slowing down. Perhaps we're just getting used to this tried and true formula after 28 chapters of this? I mean, what do you guys think? Is that what's happening here?
I mean, I can say that they have a unique formula, if you will, but I think it's working for them. If they can tie all the loose ends up, whether it be midpoint or like ending, like near ending, then everything that we see right now that you're saying is just like a whole bunch of stuff that's happening. It's going to make sense later.
Okay. Because the way I see it, it might just be the fact that at this point we've got so many chapters that like every new chapter doesn't really feel like it's adding much, considering every new chapter is just 1/28th more on top of what came out before. Instead of like the hype of when Two Blue Vortex first came out, the first like 2 or 3 chapters were like a new chapter is like double or 33% more of the new time skip stuff or whatever.
But are you saying it's not pushing it forward as far as like action or just like character development or like what are you pushing for?
Well, free game, to answer that question, my response is maybe it's just the natural ebbs and flows any story goes against, or the individual audience member goes through when viewing a story. But I feel like I and it aren't at a trough. Others are saying this chapter was fire, but nothing is grabbing me. There's no desire to want to read more and go into the main story.
Real quick.
Yeah.
My friend is listening to you talk, and he wants to know what trough means.
Trough is the opposite of peak, to where it's at like the bottom.
Basically,
right.
He's saying it's bad, or basically a better way to put it is he's saying that it's mid.
hey, bro. He said it's mid. That's what trough means. All right.
I got you. Yeah, nothing's.
I don't really know how to interact with this type of response, just because of a lot of it is just his feeling, right? It's just like he's not really pointing out that this is the way that stories are supposed to be written. These are how good stories are written, and then comparing that to Boruto, or comparing and contrasting that to TBV, saying that TBV isn't meeting that standard. He's not even really saying that. He's just telling us that. Well, he feels it's like it gives him the ick. Like he sees Boruto's karma activates. Like, I mean, maybe we could do more. I don't really know how to respond to something like that. Like it's very emotion based, but. Whatever.
I mean, that's
I
fair.
mean, media is opinionated, just like music. Everybody has their own certain taste when it comes to media and how they appreciate it. So, like, I can like one movie, you can dislike that movie, like all the hell. Like I remember, like I was watching Celestials. I found out a whole bunch of people didn't like that movie. I fairly enjoyed the shit, but so it's subjective.
Yeah. The closest thing to what Juju was saying was going to be up here, probably. At least in the first two arcs, there were still obviously things to latch on to, but it feels like ever since getting back to Sand Mission, the Vortex Fate just has slowed down or whatever. So that's basically saying, narratively, there were still aspects presented in the first two arcs that narratively they aren't really present anymore.
But think about this though.
Did he
But
extrapolate
think
on
about
what
this
those
though.
things were?
But think about this though. Like, all right, so we can go all the way back to like part one of Naruto, like around the Mujin Bandits arcs, and they was like practicing with ninja tech, and then for a while of the Boruto anime, like ninja tech wasn't really around, and now in Tubu Vortex, way years later, they are showing us the advances of their ninja tech. So just because it's not playing off right now doesn't mean doesn't mean in the future it's not going to pay off as well.
But like thematically, what does that say? Because that's just advancing the world building in like a sort of objective kind of way.
Hey, my friend that's listening to you guys talk, he wants to know what thematic means.
So thematic would be a derivative of the word theme.
A derivative of the word theme, bro. All right, now stop asking me so many
Thematic is just like the theme of the story is a simplistic way.
I know what it means, but bro, man, oh my bad. Go ahead. Yeah,
and again, at any point, if we're not jiving with this topic, we can move on to a different topic. Otherwise, I'll keep going.
Yeah, this is boring. And then I'm reading it. He brought up Platinum in like we don't care.
Yeah, exactly. No, I hate Platinum. Okay, here's one that Juju will be interested in. Could Boruto just teleport one-shot Jura in the same way he's one-shot Matsuri and Mamushi now? So I'll stop right there. Thoughts? Could he do that?
Yeah, maybe he could, and Jira just uses the divine tree to regenerate his body fully back, and then Boruto's back at square one. So
I mean, yeah, if Jura has the time to do that, but I don't even know if he could do that in time, because he's
the other bad part about like the thing is that Boruto has to set up his teleportation. It's not like something that he can instantly activate or quickly activate. It does take a bit of time, so I'm not very sure that Jura wouldn't be capable of reacting to Boruto under that specific condition.
Well, it takes time to teleport from where he is, but it doesn't take any time to get to where he's going once he does do the teleport. So if Jura doesn't realize that he's about to teleport, then
he should be able to realize it. He's fought against them now.
No. What I'm saying is that like if Boruto's not on the battlefield, so basically what he does to Mamushi.
Oh, like he just comes out of nowhere. Like it's not like he's already fighting him. He just disappears out of any.
The same thing he does to Matsuri, to where he starts in Koji's hideout and then he just teleports to Jura.
Yeah, I think the issue there is like whether or not Boruto would have enough AP to like one shot Jura.
Do you guys think that Jura even cares about Bug's Thornbolt? Because he didn't care about Matsuri's. I mean, I don't know if I read that wrong or not, but he didn't seem like he was really bothered by them getting her Thornbolt. That's why I say she's weak, but continue.
Oh yeah, okay.
Would he care about Mamushi? I mean, we'll have to wait and see. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I mean,
we have
the
seen.
only reason why I bring that up because he didn't bat an eye when Matsuri got hers taken. I mean, and Matsuri is a Leaf Ninja and Bug. I mean, we ain't really got no backstory on Bug, so we don't know like his history or
He
anything like
has
that.
fire style.
Fire style. Wow. Okay. So he has fire style. He has fire style. I don't know how much the Tentels augmented. Oh, I can't say the word augmented. I'm just gonna stop it. I don't know how much he advanced them or anything like that, like the divine tree. So when do you think Matsuri would be like a more of a like ally or more of a more of a asset to Jorah than what a Bug will be, or is it Bug's
No.
abilities just like way more overpowered than Matsuri?
Yeah. Mamushi is stronger than Matsuri, so he's gonna be a way better asset than Matsuri.
But I
Matsuri,
just
and the thing that makes Matsuri even worse, just aside from her abilities, is that she has this crazy, like uncontrollable emotional like attachment to Konohamaru that makes it even more difficult and interferes with Jura's, commandment of her. Whereas Mamushi doesn't Mamushi doesn't have this. Like this guy's just cold blooded. He doesn't care. He just wants to get his target. So he's a lot easier to lead than a Matsuri, and he's also stronger. So like just purely as an asset, yeah, he's way better than Matsuri is. It's not even close.
but do you think that like after I don't know well yeah I'm pretty sure I know how it happens because when um Sasuke what was his name whatever Sasuke's clone name is, when he
Madara.
came back, he had all his memories and stuff like that. So if Matsuri was to get taken out and then Jorah was to say take her Thornbulb and revive her, she's gonna have all the memories of Konohamaru pretty much killing her. Or at
Right.
least
Oh, so you're saying after that point, would she be a better asset than Mamushi?
yeah.
Well, no, she still wouldn't, because again, she's still not stronger than Mamushi at all. Like
We
it's not
don't
even
know
close.
that though. Like, what feats have we seen her on panel? Like, until we get the like maybe the manga, unless they cheap shot us and she just walks away as the Stone Village. I'm sorry, as the Sand Village is destroyed. Then I mean, we have no feats for her besides she beats Gara and Shinki. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, since there's no feats, we would only have to go off of like narrative implications. So the narrative implication is that they feel confident enough to send um Team Seven, right? Obviously, not just Team Seven, but Team Seven with the
Konoha,
Sand team, right?
the
Yeah,
same.
Konohamaru, obviously, right? They're confident enough to send that group of people into that scenario, thinking that they're strong enough to accomplish the mission, right? Not necessarily saying that they will, but there's a clear difference in that versus, well, Kashin Koji has to get Inojin to learn this completely new technique, this special technique that we've never seen before within 3 days' time. And that is what's going to allow them to beat someone like Mamushi, right? And they have to form this like ultimate team with Boruto and Ada and all these different people specifically for Mamushi. And because of that, because the preparation seems to be more severe for Mamushi compared to Matsuri, that is implicit of Mamushi just being stronger comparatively speaking.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, I totally hear what you're saying. I
That's the
told
only
you,
way I could
but
explain it without there. Because you're right, there are no feats, so I can't.
but
It can't be like Matsuri just didn't do this. That's the only logical way I could explain it to somebody. But that's
but
the
the
only slight
way
difference.
I'm glad that you brought. I'm, oh my bad. My shit is like breaking up a little bit, so sorry to cut you off. But what I was going to say is though is that you brought up a good point. You was talking about damn, who did you say? Fuck.
Was the Enojin's technique like learning,
No,
making.
after that.
After that, I mean, I think I like summed it up by saying like the preparation is more severe for Mamushi um compared to Matsuri. Was that it or
Oh
I
no,
can't?
Kashin Koji. Okay, sorry, my brain
Oh
is
yeah.
fucking fried. All right, no, Kashin Koji. Kashin Koji, he set everything up. It wasn't just like, I Konohamaru, let me send these certain ninjas out there. He did that just because he knew Sarada would unlock him on Gakio. That was like his sole purpose for doing that.
Yeah.
So when you talk about like other like combatants going against certain Shinjus and stuff like that, he's only picking the ones that are the best match for him. That's just my conclusion. I could be wrong, but that's just what I'm getting from it as I'm reading the story.
Okay. I'm okay.
What do you
Thoughts?
mean? What do you mean?
Well, I mean, I guess, I guess, like, I understand your point. Um, yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, do you agree with this point?
I mean, like, is you're saying it's because like he sends Sarada out there specifically because she presents a matchup disadvantage for the Shinju? I mean, yeah, clearly she's like stronger than them. So I mean, yeah, I don't disagree
Well,
with
his
that. But
oh,
what I would be saying was like,
mm,
although Sarada is a matchup difference for those Shinju, she's clearly
mm.
not for Mamushi specifically.
Oh
So they
yeah,
have to,
fact.
yeah, so they have to add more people into the mix for them to effectively take down Mamushi.
But
And
would you?
therefore
Mhm.
Mamushi's a better overall combatant than these other Shinjus.
But would you agree that Kashin Koji is only assimilating these certain shinobis because he knows that they're the only ones who are going to be able to take out Momoshi.
They're the only ones who could take out Mamushi. Yeah, like I mean, I don't even know that, to be honest. I'm not even gonna lie, because if
You
that
know,
was true,
understand that?
if that was enough, right? If that was enough to say that it's sufficient to take him down, why
Right.
would he be going through the trouble of like teaching Inojin this crazy jutsu that apparently is
Mm.
supposed to be able to take down all of Mamushi's clones? If that specific group of people was enough, I just don't see him going through the trouble of training Enogen. So I think him training Enogen is kind of the icing on the cake there to say like, yeah, although Sarada has these abilities, she has the potential to be a matchup disadvantage for the Shinju. That's still just not enough. Like, it's just not
Yeah.
enough.
No, I hear you. I think I gotta reread the manga. I thought it was just for him to be able to talk to people telepathically. Because
Uh
we was talking on
oh,
another
you're
podcast.
talking about to know because Mamushi is like hiding his chakra signature. Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure that's one of the reasons why, right?
Yeah, and Ada don't want to use her omnipotence to spy on Bug no more because he creeps her out. We was talking about this before. It was a panel. I wish Ryzen was in here. He'd be able to pull it up. But it's a
Mm,
panel where she refuses to
use
spy on
omnipotence.
them
Yeah.
because she creeps him out. Yeah, like the last time he entered her like little Sangreon space, whatever word that creates when she sees anything or whatever like that. She was creeped out, and ever since then, she was like, "Hell nah, I'm not doing that again. I'm not looking at them. Like I'll search around for anything else, any other like information you guys need, but when it comes to him, hell nah."
Yeah, I mean, to some extent, I think there might be a little bit more, like something a little bit more to it than that. Because I do think they have ways of like finding out where Mamushi is, although he's like hiding his chakra signature. Um, like for instance, Delta has this like robot where it literally can fly over an area and just see everything. It's like a surveillance camera. Um, And there's also like other ways, right?
But
But
they'll
like,
see that though. You don't think?
hmm?
Mamushi, Jura, you don't think they'll notice something like that?
You like notice the surveillance cameras?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he probably would know. I don't know if he would care to do anything because he's like he is low key just stronger than them. But
That's true. I agree. I agree.
because I also think like Mamushi's feats on top of that are pretty. Like Mamushi has decent feats, at least when he fights against Boruto in this initial introduction. So I think if you multiply that by 100, right, you add 100 Mamushis who's capable of like fighting relatively comparable to Boruto in base, right? No Uzuhiko or nothing like that. That like it basically we would have to be saying that these people are hundreds of times stronger than Boruto for it to make sense of them taking down Mamushi effectively, right? That's
Mm-hmm.
basically how that is basically the conclusion somebody would end up at if they were to say like um like let's say for instance Sarada, Chocho, and Himawari as a team could take down like Mamushi effectively. We would have to be saying that like these three people are at least comparable, not even comparable to Boruto. We would have to be saying they're hundreds of times stronger than Boruto because they would be able to take down somebody who is as strong as Boruto, but it's 100 of these mugs. Like, like it's just not very likely, really, at this case, or at this point in the series. Other than maybe like full power Jura, and Daemon, but other than that, I just don't see anybody effectively taking him down.
Oh, oh, it says this on chapter 4 where she said that.
I forgot what were we talking about again? Like, what was the initial point we were talking about?
Oh, I thought my shit cut out.
Talking about
Nah, I wanted to bring up the chapter where, let me see. Who is it? Who's talking about Ada? Where she says she doesn't want to spy on Mamushi no more. I think it said it's chapter 4. Let me see. This shit ever hurry the fucks up.
And also,
Okay.
doesn't Konoha have
Okay,
doesn't Konoha still have the Hyuga clan? Like, can't the Hyuga clan like use their Byakugan to see all of the Mamushis? Like, am I tripping when I say that, Ood?
Nah, I think you're right.
Or couldn't it be the case that they can use like what's the name of Kiba's
You
clan?
said that one more time?
The Uzunaka clan. Couldn't they use
Izunuka?
them to like
Inuzuka?
yeah. Can they use them to like smell out where I feel like it's so many things they could do and they're just going like it would be weird for them to be specifically using Inogen as the way to effectively take down Mamushi without him having like a special property or special trait that just, makes it more effective than because they have other ways of like knowing where Mamushi is hypothetically. Like so I can think of at least 3 or 4 different ways.
Well, something that's extra weird is we see all the Shinju, every time they go in the village, they're setting off the Yamanaka bubble anyways. What's the point of
Exactly.
using Inojin?
Yeah. Unless maybe like they just didn't like when Jura and Hidari came to the village, they just didn't care to hide their chakra signature. Maybe that could be the reason why, but it doesn't really make sense for all of a sudden him to be able to hide his chakra signature. It's just so weird to me. But
Yeah.
I guess he can. I forgot where did this stem from? We were talking about Mamushi. Are we talking about Mamushi being stronger than Matsuri?
Nah, I was trying to find out where Ada said that she didn't want to use her Senrigan on Mamushi. I can't fucking find it. It says it's chapter 7, but that's a cat. Chat, help us out. What chapter is that? Please help us out.
I could probably look for it right quick. Come on.
Why are we looking for that though? All right, why are you looking for that though? Do you what I was gonna say? Do you think that do you what's the possibilities that Daemon actually devours Ada?
Well, I'm gonna say there's like a 2% chance that Daemon devours Ada. Maybe 1%.
What?
Well, that's the question you
Elaborate.
asked. So I was giving my
Yeah, I
answer to
know.
that.
That's what I'm saying. Elaborate.
Well, when I think of people who could devour Ada, Daemon's definitely near the very bottom of my list. I'm not going to say it's impossible. Daemon could devour Ada. But do I think it's likely? No. Do I think it's plausible? Definitely not. So, but is it possible? Well, yes, technically it is possible. I could see it happening. I just don't think it's very likely.
I don't think it could happen either way, because how will he devour her? He's not even like Osuski. He's not
He
the
could
one with
be.
trees.
He could become
Well,
one.
because he could be what?
We don't know what Damon is as of yet. He hasn't even fully matured. He's still a little
He's
kid, so we don't really know what he
I don't
is.
even know if he is aging.
he's a cybernetic human. He just got some Shibai cells. I mean, I guess I can make him an Osuki, but I don't know how that works when you just get the cells. Because he's not full Osuki like a Boruto
Well,
or
just because you
Walky.
have the cells, it doesn't mean you're Otsutsuki. Like, for instance, Code is not an Otsutsuki, but yeah, Shiba cells.
Exactly what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah, but because, like, you could say because they have Shiba cells at one point in time, they could mature into what an Otsutsuki would be by unlocking some sort of Shinjutsu. Like, it's hard to really say just because we don't know how Shiba cells could end up affecting somebody. Like, for Kashin Koji, it inevitably unlocks some sort of ability. So clearly there seems to be like a maturation process with the Shiba cells that we don't know has already taken place in Daemon or could take place in Daemon down the line. Um, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't say he's Otsutsuki. I wouldn't go that far, but he could mature into one. Like, we never know.
I mean, the weird thing is, I agree that I'm not going to call him Otsutsuki, but I also think it's just inconsistent with the series. For example, Kabuto. He absorbed a lot of different people, and he's able to use their Kekkei Genkai, their genetic bloodline thing that you have to be born with to use, and the Sharingan can't copy, even if they have all 5 changes of nature elemental copied. So, yeah, Kabuto can just do that by putting on other people's cells of him. So that's clearly either just changing him at a genetic level, or Kekkei Genkai was just retconned. So when I think of, like, Naruto, who has a Hashirama arm, I'm not thinking he Senju. But maybe he actually just genetically is, to an extent. So likewise, Boruto and Kawaki, just because they get Shibai cells, hypothetically, or like Code. Code, he's not called Otsutsuki, and he has the white Karma Seal. And seemingly he wouldn't qualify as an Otsutsuki. But is he actually, even though they say he's not? He might just be, based on consistency of the universe. Thoughts?
I mean, you make a good point, but I wouldn't agree, because the way the mechanics work is like their full DNA has to be rewritten.
Well, that's the thing, really quick, is that someone like Donzo, he's taking an external element like the Sharingan, and he's just placing it on his body, but he's not fusing it with his body. It feels like something like the Shibai cells. It's like he's becoming Shibai's Jinchuriki, in a sense, or like how Kaguya fused with the Tintels. They were 2 entities that fused, they merged to become one, rather than just one stacked on top of the other, but they're still, like, unmixed. It feels like Shibai cells aren't on their bodies, or in their bodies. It is a part of their body. Like, I don't think you can remove the Shibai cells at this point, for example.
I would agree. Unless they have some type of like what do they call that shit? Splicing or whatever that shit's called. Where
Yeah,
they
yeah.
manipulate DNA. I can't remember what it's called. But you know what I mean, though.
Yeah.
It's a possibility. But I'm just doing it in IRL perspective. But I mean, it could possibly happen, and then we can have possibly happen genetically modified shinobi at one point soon.
That could be cool. I'd like to see that in Boruto.
Yeah, like
I feel like
where
they should have already made like a little Senju, like a little Hashirama mini Senju army of people, like soldiers that all are enhanced with like Hashirama cells. It's probably just
Mhm.
unethical for them to do something like that. That's the only way I could think. Is like it just goes against their morals. It's like some Orochimaru sort of like weird shit going
Yeah.
on when you have to take the cells of a dead person and try to like create an army out of it. Like, yeah, it could be effective, but maybe it's just something they don't morally accept. But I mean, yeah, I mean, it would make
You
sense for
said
them though.
synthetic with Hashirama cells,
Well, you said synthetic what? Like, is
like
it synthetic?
synthetic humans, like
Not
meat.
necessarily synthetic humans, but more so like it would be like Captain America, where you take a random guy or even maybe a random shinobi, you
And
throw
give
him in
us
the cage, and then
super
you just
serum.
inject a bunch of like, yeah, literally inject some Hashirama serum into him, and then just make him a soldier. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they could have, they literally could have. I mean, Kaguya did it. She was the first one that did it to do it with the Zetsu
Kage?
army. Yeah, yeah, she created the Zetsu army, and the Zetsu army is closely related to like Hashirama cells and his chakra and stuff like that.
Well, how would she do that? Didn't she do that back in the war? Hashirama wasn't around.
Yeah,
Unless
she
I'm
did it
right on
before the
it.
war arc. She did it like around the time that after she betrayed Ishiki and after she like took the chakra fruit. Because
Mm-hmm.
Momoshiki and Kinshiki were coming to kill her and take the chakra fruit for themselves. So
Right.
because of how strong they were, she created a Zetsu army specifically to help her fight against those people.
Yeah, but they
So
didn't have the Hashirama cells, so.
yeah, I
Oh,
know that.
you
That's
know
what.
what? You know what? I know what? I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm not saying it. I'm just saying like I'm just saying the concept of taking this like material which is related to the Senju or to Senju cells in general or Hashirama cells in general,
Mm-hmm.
taking that and creating an army, whether or not it's synthetic or whether or not you're just taking the material and adding it to a random soldier.
Right.
That concept has seemingly already been explored. So to me, it's like kind of weird that they wouldn't have, you know, continued to create an army or continue to do something like that, especially with like Suzuki's who could come by and are extremely strong. Unless it just went against their morals, right? Like just fucking experimenting and doing weird shit like that just wasn't something they accepted. Because logically, it doesn't really make sense for them not to do that, especially when they don't have the current strength necessary, at least in part one specifically, after Naruto and Sasuke lost their powers, to fight against these like crazy strong beings potentially.
Well,
But
I'm curious.
that's all that was on that I was saying.
Why do you two think that Moegi
Okay.
has wood style?
Chat.
Good.
I don't know, but chat helped us out though. Shout out to Obito Senpai XCVI. He said that I believe what you're looking for is towards the end of chapter 16 when she goes to talk to Shikamaru. When she says that she don't want to spy on Momushi no more.
Yeah.
Yeah, bring catalyst to why Inojin learn his jutsu. We'll find it though. But yeah, go ahead. I just wanted to shout out, bro. Thank you for joining us
Yeah,
on
shout out
Twitch.
Obito.
Love to see it.
Appreciate it, man.
But yeah, no, I feel like Moegi could fit into what you guys are saying. Like, how do you guys think she has wood style? Was she born with it and we just never knew? Or did she somehow manifest it later in life? Did she get Hashirama cells? Is she like somewhat like a sleeper agent that's like been low key about it?
Well, the way they explain her wood style is that she's like, um, she's basically, it's kind of like what Sasuke does in the novels, where he creates like a replica of the ice mirror jutsu. It's not necessarily that he's copied the
Mm-hmm.
KK Genkai or like injected the cells of Haku's clan into his body. It's more so that he's taking multiple different elemental variations and configuring them together, combining them together, and creating an ice style sort of variation. That's basically what she's
Yeah,
doing.
he
She's like,
said it's not. He said it's not as strong as hers though. He also alluded to that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Hers is like dog shit compared to the actual version. Yeah.
No,
But I'm
his
pretty sure
dog
it's like
shit
a
to the
mixture of
actual
like
version.
earth style and water style, and that's how she's creating it. I would have to go back and check actually how she does it, but
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's explained.
That's fair. I mean, maybe they don't have some weird Kekkei Genkai mutants running around, but they do have genetically altered humans with not only the fabrications in the Mitsuki retrieval arc, but Mitsuki himself is a literal clone of Orochimaru. Same with the Shin clones, which are still in the village. And hey, Kabuto, the orphanage guy, is still a weirdly looking mutant. So they do have a lot of like genetically altered people in Konoha that could also add to the battle power. And then again, likewise, Naruto still
Yeah,
does have his Hashirama arm, and so that's technically playing a factor in
yeah,
as well. Don't know if you can
yeah,
actually use
exactly.
it
Yeah,
Hey,
now,
yeah.
but
hey, Juju, I want to hear your opinion on what do you think Cole has planned for the future of TBV? Do you think that he's just a throwaway character, a gag character, or you think he has something up his sleeve?
Well, if they're gonna keep the story consistent, I I think it's gonna involve something with Ishiki's reincarnation potentially, just because of,
What?
well, yeah, well, there's a multitude of things. The first thing that kind of led me to this impression is Ishiki's conversation with Code prior, or directly precluding his death against Naruto and Sasuke, where he talks to Code and he's like, "Yeah, Code, you know, you're a human, you're a piece of shit right now, but you can still become an Otsutsuki. You can still upgrade your body, upgrade your genetic code, and you have inherited." What he specifically says to Code is that he's inherited the legacy of Ishiki. He says that his own legacy is still in the form of pure power, which is, you know, the white karma seal on Code.
Right.
Um, so now, obviously, Code is currently not compatible with the ossification process for whatever reason. But hypothetically, if he upgraded his body to become an Otsutsuki, would that not allow him to now be compatible with the ossification process, in which would allow, if, and this is, you know, assuming that all the statements are true in regards to Ishiki's power being in Code's karma, which even Boruto says later on in TBV, he says that the essence, Ishiki's essence, is in Code's karma, which
Mhm.
theoretically is going to play into how strong the Shinju are. If Code was to become compatible at some point in the future, and Ishiki's essence still is in the karma, and Code becomes compatible with the karma, what's stopping him from becoming 100% Otsutsuki and inevitably allowing Ishiki to reincarnate inside of his body?
That's true. Do you think that he can handle like a chocolate fruit, like if he ate it?
Uh, the only reason I
I
would say
mean,
yes is because of, again, like Ishiki's interaction with him, like the way Ishiki says it. And this is assuming that this is like the real Ishiki, because I know some people say, well, it's just projection, like Amato, blah 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 blah. Assuming this is a real Ishiki,
yeah, I heard that
from
too.
what he says, theoretically, you should be able, like, Coach should be able to eat a chakra fruit and
yeah.
upgrade himself into an Otsutsuki. Because he says, like, well, yeah, you know, although I'm dead and although, you know, you're not anything right now, you can still upgrade yourself and become an Otsutsuki god by just devouring these chakra fruits. So it didn't seem like Ishiki was saying like he couldn't do it. It's saying the opposite. Like, yeah, you can do it. So yeah, assuming
And
that's
to
true, then yeah, I would say he
I'm
could.
like 80-20 on it
and to
because
like
on one
and
sense
like
of
to add to that. Oh, hold
yeah,
on
yeah, go
real
ahead.
quick. And like to add to that, he's one of the only ones that was able to like sacrifice. I mean, survive through the
Yep.
karmification.
Yep.
Like even though his was white, he still survived. So
Yeah.
I don't see why he wouldn't be able to devour a chocolate fruit and upgrade himself. But yeah, my bad, Oodie, go ahead.
Yeah, you good. I was gonna say I'm like 80-20 on it because it feels like on one hand, anyone could eat the chocolate fruit. A literal human could eat the chocolate fruit and it'd be perfectly fine.
Nope,
Denki could do it, and he's all peachy and dandy. On the other hand, it feels like that
Victor
can't
ate it.
happen.
Victor
It
ate
it
it,
could.
and
It's
you
just
see what
very
happens to him.
unlikely that like it could, but it's just very unlikely. You would have to find a very like extremely rare type of person that would be able to endure that type of power. And it just so happens to be that like what Free Game just said, which is that he's already sort of endured a similar type of process, which is like putting the karma on top of his body. Obviously, the chocolate fruit is probably going to be even more severe than that.
Yeah.
But he's extremely strong. He has Shibai cells inside of his body. He has Ishiki's power inside of his body. He's a cybernetic enhanced robot, right? Like he of all people should be able to do it. Now, most people probably not. Clearly, like Kid Dinky, like if you're giving him a chocolate fruit, his body's probably turning into a giant bubble, probably gonna explode in seconds, bro. It's like it's gonna be like when
He's gonna be
Kaguya like
I am
manifested in
Iron
Madara's
Man.
body, and Madara's body
Yeah,
was like
yeah.
exploding from this sheer amount of chakra that was like manifesting. That's probably what would happen to most people. But Code specifically, I think he probably would be able to handle it. I mean, if he can't handle it at that point, they just hate Code. Like the writers just literally they just hate this guy. He can't eat a chakra fruit. He can't get Ishiki's karma. He's just a like bro. There's no way they do Code like that, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, we
That'd
don't
be
really
bad.
have too many details about what makes someone able or not able to consume a chakra fruit. If it has to do with the person's physical body or maybe their spiritual essence, their mental wavelength with it or something. Or maybe the fruit itself, depending on how big it is or the quality of it, since Momoshiki said if he fed Kwaki now, the fruit's not going to be as great a quality. It could be the chakra amount within the fruit. It could be something else entirely. We just don't really know in that regard. So I think that could be very interesting. Same with what it takes to take a Karma Seal or become an Otsutsuki. We don't know why Code survived or why Kawaki survived. It might be a physical power thing. It might not be. Ishiki does say it might. He alludes to like a wavelength situation to where that's why Kawaki was able to take the Karma Seal. So that might be at least one of the factors into who can take someone's karma seal. It might be the same thing with a chakra fruit, as weird as that sounds, to where maybe only certain people are compatible with certain chakra fruits. It's another possibility. I think another like interesting idea could be the better quality the fruit, the more people would be able to consume it, which that sounds a little bit backwards, but I feel like the more pure the fruit is, there's a possibility that the higher likelihood it is that the body's not going to reject it, in a sense, if that makes sense.
Nah,
But
that goes back to
a lot
Adam
of
and
interesting
Eve.
ideas.
God told Adam not to eat the apple, and Eve ate it anyways, and then they were naked.
Yeah, Kishimoto was clearly inspired by that. And I know that Madara's fabricated story to Hashirama was wrong, that Kaguya was a human who devoured the chakra fruit and then gained godlike powers. But it's at least something to like play with since it was the original concept in the first place. There's a lot of interesting ideas.
Yeah. Do you guys ever see maybe Kaguya make a return or
I pray for that day every night.
Well, you know,
generic
my theory, this has been my theory since way back in the like the prime
spit
of the Cloud Ninja
spit.
Discord days. But
Hey, Juju. You gotta get back on the pod too, by the way. We gonna talk.
bet for sure. You already know, bro. I'm down for whatever, especially because I'm
I know you
school's
are.
out. I'm not doing nothing but editing videos. But yeah, we'll talk. But yeah,
Oh yeah,
what were
about
we
that
talking
too.
about? Oh yeah, the Osis. So this has been my theory since like the prime like Cloud Ninja Discord server days where we used to be in VC just cooking up random theories all the time. But my theory has always been like an Otsutsuki revival. What would be more difficult for the shinobi world to handle and overcome other than bringing all of the people that made it hard in the first place back, bringing back Kaguya, bringing back Urashiki, moment, whatever these people, kid, whatever, bringing them back I just, and the reason I say this is because of the fact that they've introduced the karma. Like hypothetically, there could literally be somebody out there that has Kaguya's karma who could be Osatsukifying, or I shouldn't say it like that, but they could be engaging in the Osusification process. And what if Kaguya just comes back within a couple years? What if we just don't know, right? Like that would be so badass. And I mean, obviously, there's not a shred of evidence of this, right? But that's kind of always been my theory. Like, yeah, let's bring the strong Osutsukis back. Let's put these super strong Osutsukis against the new cast of characters. And at least what this is going to allow us to do, as far as explanatory value goes, is like this is going to allow us to confirmably say who's stronger between Shippuden and Boruto characters, right? Because people argue about this all the time. What better way of putting the end of the discussion right now, instead of just putting Kaguya against Boruto and Kawaki, or putting Ishiki against Boruto and Kawaki? What better way to solve the issue than that? And then what better way to make our main protagonists develop and progress as characters? Obviously, there's other ways as well, but this way in particular could also help that progress and mature and become the characters that we want them to be. So I mean, I've kind of always liked that theory. I've been preaching it for years. Unfortunately, there's no shred of evidence that's came out within 2 years that would help me actually like assert and push this claim. But hey, man, I think that would be cool. I'm not gonna lie, I like it. What do you think, Ood?
I think that's a dope theory for sure. I'm totally down. I think that the community would hate it. They would tear that to shreds. They would complain nonstop. But I'm down for it. I think it's really cool. I don't know if it would necessarily change the power scaling dynamic, considering most people are already set in their ways on the Shippuden versus Boruto topic. And so if characters come back, rather than doing what you're doing and being in good faith and genuine about it, they're just going to cross-compare the character to their previous self. So the Boruto Kaguya compared to the previous Kaguya. Unless it's just blatantly, directly, outright stated, the exact same power level in every regard, which the writers would never do, then people are just going to go with their conclusions and work backwards to say, oh, this Kaguya is weaker for this reason or that reason or whatever headcanon they come up with.
What if they pull all their power from Shibai? But one thing that I don't like about that, though, it will cheapen the deaths of every Osusuki or every character that came before.
Did you think that Orochimaru coming back in the war arc cheapened Orochimaru for you game?
I never thought Orochimaru was that.
Oh, that's fair. Okay. I like that. No, I do get that from a perspective. I think I would be willing to forgive it, even if it does cheapen their death. Because I think I would prefer to have them back at the cost of cheapening their death, since I think that the benefit of having them back would just outweigh that cost in the first place. But my only contention...
Would you say that about like Kurama dying as well? Like Kurama dying and then coming back in Himawari? Would you say like the fact that he came back in Himawari cheapened his initial death, after Barryamo defeated Ishiki?
Yeah, in a sense, but I do appreciate the way that they made him come back. Like, it wasn't like he just respawned or some shit like that. Like, they did it differently than any other Tell Beast. And when you was watching it, like, when you was watching that episode, you can kind of tell Kurama was telling Naruto a half truth. Like, just him dying, but Naruto dying, but I don't think that Kurama expected himself to die as well, unless in the part where he talks to Himawari, he says he don't know how he came back, but we have to go back on that chapter for me to confirm that.
Yeah. My only problem with Juju's theory from a in-universe perspective would be, clearly, I don't think, unless she just did it off screen, I don't think Kaguya gave anyone karma when she came back in the war. So she would have had to give someone karma back in the day, like millennia ago, several thousand years ago when she was still alive. First of all, I don't think she did that, but let's say she did. Why would that person still be alive?
What if she did it?
Yeah, well, the only possible way is like you don't even have to say like Kaguya did it. Maybe you could make up some like underlying theory and say Zetsu could have did it, right? Because Zetsu is just the will of Kaguya. So Zetsu put the karma on someone for Kaguya. Then
that can
16, because the ossification process could take however long, depending on the
Yeah.
vessel. So
Yeah.
it could be
And
20
then
years, it could be
Okay,
30.
okay, you're selling me on this. I like
Hey, we're
that.
cooking.
Hold on,
We're cooking. Hey, bro, we're cooking,
Yeah.
bro.
I was,
Hey,
I
look.
was, I was with Juju too. I was like, I would think it's like Zetsu as well because, like, when Naruto thought that he got the last one, if you watch like movies and stuff like that, like I was watching Spider Man, and they thought they got the last symbiote, and the symbiote was sitting there like a little blob on the table.
You know what? There's White Zetsu around still too from Kaguya's era. They could do something with that.
Yep, definitely. They definitely could write it in.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
not sure how willing they are, but they definitely could.
No, I mean the easiest way there is that Kaguya fused with the Tin Tails, or the Gajra, which became the Tin Tails, which at that point it's using Infant Tsukiyomi to wrap people up. So it's in a sense, it's turning people into Kaguya, or like a Kaguya mutant in a way.
Yeah.
So what role do you think Kage will play if they brought her back in TBV?
Hmm. By the way, Juju, your mic's echoing a little bit.
Yeah, it's
Oh, it
a
is. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna leave and join back right quick. I'm gonna reset my stuff.
All right.
okay. Yeah, what role do you think that he'll play?
That's an interesting question. I would personally hope that Kaguya. It's weird to say good guy, but to be on the good guy's side, just not a good guy in name. To where it's going to be like Obito atoning at the end of the war or redeeming himself, to where everyone still looks at him as the bad guy. But for whatever reason, they have like a common enemy in Kaguya or Madara, to where they're teaming up together, even if in like a weird, unorthodox kind of alliance, to where they're going to Kaguya's going to help Boruto, in a way, her grandson defeat Jura or something like that. I think that could be really, really cool. And it would help to really give layers to the tragedy behind Kaguya's character and the mystery there, especially for the reason she killed Ishiki, the reason she abandoned her clan, why she was so scared of Momoshiki and Kinshiki, her children trying to kill her and like abandoning her, and the fact that she hated her children, the fact that maybe she changed after Naruto and Sasuke. So I would like to see Kaguya come back all this time later and maybe regret some of her actions and just see where they can take her character from there.
Well, I think the relevant thing about Kaguya coming back, and I think Ood made some good points, but
Do
at
you
least for
think?
me, is that I think we
Go
get to
ahead.
see
Yeah.
the character development that everyone wants to see, right? Because I think that was the main criticism of these Otsutsuki characters, is that they don't seem to have a bunch of human like elements, right? I mean, obviously, when you look at them, maybe you can draw some similarities to humans, but as far as like relatability goes, right? Like they don't. What people used to say was like, well, it seems like they're missing human elements, right? It seems like they're not developing, blah blah blah. They seem to come and go very quickly, right? Like Momoshiki comes into the series very quickly and he's out of the series. Or I wouldn't say Momoshiki, I'm sorry, but people like Urashiki, or people like Ishiki, right? How they come in the series and then it seems like they're just gone and we don't really know a bunch about their character, or as much about their character as we should. And I feel like bringing Kaguya back allows us to investigate and explore who Kaguya is as a character specifically, at least in the manga right now. If we're using anime filler, that was explored, right? Like we did see those things, but if we're just going off the manga, like
There's
that
still a
was
lot of
never
mystery there,
extracted.
though. They gave
Yeah,
more questions than
even
answers in the filler.
right, yeah. Like we don't really know like how she came up, right? We all we see is her land on Earth, and then that's pretty much it, right? But we want to see the background. We want to see the things that would make us more relatable to someone like Kaguya, so we can actually feel her as a character. And I feel like if they bring her back, they can explore that a bit more. Obviously, they don't need to bring her back to do that, right? They can just give us a flashback and do it. But I think bringing her back, putting her back in the forefront, would kind of be a good way to start it off, right? A good way to pop it off. And then as well as what Ood said as well. So yeah.
What about this? What about this though? What if like we get the anime right, and that flashback was Sasuke and Boruto? Sasuke explains to him what happened with like Kaguya and stuff like that, and Madara, and he like fills him on those details, and we get a flashback instead of just having a whole arc on Kaguya.
If they do that, I think you're gonna set the community on fire.
We get some. My bad. Maybe we get some other nuances we never even heard of in the first Naruto and like Shippuden. Sorry.
The moment you do anything with Kaguya, anything at all, the community is going to go ballistic with those, those couple pixels in the back of that single panel of the Kaguya fight and the gravity dimension. People are going to lose their minds saying that's Boruto. We're going to get a time slip arc 2.0. It's going to be canon this time.
Yeah, I mean, I think people are very, very. They're anticipating any sort of Otsutsuki flashback, any sort of Otsutsuki lore that you put in a story. People are gonna go absolutely crazy about, especially when you tie it in with Kaguya, because Kaguya was like the first. Like she was the first one that people looked at. Like when people think of these Otsutsuki like characters, they always reflect back to Shippuden. They always reflect back to Kaguya and how strong she was and like her narrative lore and portrayal. And I think that if you bring something like that back and tie it into specifically Otsutsuki lore, people are going to be jumping out of their seats, right? People are going to be posting theories online. Everybody's going to be blowing up off of Kaguya theories. It's going to be going insane.
Yeah, the mother of all chakra.
Yep. Like her lore is insane. They literally call her the progenitor of chakra. Like every piece of chakra that any human has currently is because of Kaguya, which is insane to think about. So
is it that, or is it that Hagoromo taught him how to mold chakra?
That is weirdly inconsistently doesn't make sense in the first place. So it is, but it isn't, but it is. But it isn't.
It's both, to put it simply. Like, yeah, it's like his teaching of Ninshu, which allows people to like control their chakra well, which is obviously that's going to be a fundamental part of utilizing your chakra. But the other fundamental, part of that is having the chakra, right? Which they wouldn't have the chakra if Kaguya wasn't who she was. But yeah, so I mean, they both play a part. So
yeah, in a way, you could argue that chakra.
I saw this video.
You go ahead.
Go ahead. No, continue.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's weird because in a way, we know that chakra is just the combination of mental energy and physical energy. Humans before Kaguya had both mental energy and physical energy. It's not like Kaguya gave them one of those vital elements that they were missing. So it's almost like a Kekkei Genkai, to where they just didn't have the ability to fuse the two before, to mix the two. But afterwards, they gained the ability. So in a way, it's like Kaguya gave them a Kekkei Genkai in that kind of sense.
Thing when she said that she wanted to get her chakra back from Ashura and Indra, like Hagoromo and Hamura. Right.
Well, they say all of the. So they say like the chakra is hers. Like the reason she's coming back to Earth and using the infinite Tsukuyomi and trying to get the chakra out of every single shinobi is specifically because it's stated to be hers. Everything is hers. All of that chakra was hers, and because she had Hagoromo and Hamura and they did what they did, that spread the chakra, and that obviously nerfed her. And she wanted to regain that power back. So
it's weird.
Pretty consistent.
At the same time, you can say like a lot of clans derive from Kaguya.
Facts. Yeah, that's impossible. So like the Hyuga clan, the Uchiha clan, the Senju clan, the Uzumaki clan, like every single clan is going to be at least is going to have some sort of relatability to Kaguya.
Yeah. Well, I'm curious. Yeah. Did the human bodies have the chakra network beforehand, or is that something that developed because they have chakra, like the human body is adapting to it, or did they just have this random like circulatory system basically that was just being entirely useless because they just didn't have chakra to run it? Like it's just kind of weird at that point.
Well, I don't know how they would have a chakra network system without chakra.
But the chakra network system, it's like veins in the body.
Yeah,
Well, no, it's not veins in the body. It's like at least from what the graph shows, like it shows your organs, it shows your regular parts of the body, and then they say the chakra system is just something that's wrapped around that, like a lining that's wrapped around.
Exactly.
But like Eastern mythology. Okay, I'm butchering words, but the Eastern shit. Excuse me, all my people who listen to this, but the Eastern or whatever, they say that everybody and inherently has chakra. Like we all have our chakra points and stuff like that.
They're probably referring to the like real life Chinese mythology or
Yeah.
whatever, the meridian
Yeah, because
system.
Yeah,
chakra is going to be interpreted differently depending on like the society that wrote about it, right? Like everyone has their different variation of, or in different variation and different interpretation of what chakra is. Um,
Yeah.
and obviously Kishimoto has his own interpretation of what chakra is. That's sort of
yeah,
different.
Mhm.
yeah,
I do want to say on
There
Kaguya.
are similarities. There are definitely like relatable elements, but it's not one to one.
Yeah. Before
yeah.
moving on from
Hey,
Kaguya, though, I wanted to add really quick. If have y'all seen Tokyo Ghoul?
Of course, yeah.
yeah, a little bit of it.
Okay,
Season
okay.
two.
You only need a
Up
little
to
bit.
season
So I feel like Kaguya, if she comes back especially, I feel like she could definitely serve a role similar to Rize in Tokyo Ghoul. Now, to be fair, Momoshiki has been serving Rize from like season 1, the early days of Tokyo Ghoul. But like in the manga and even later on in the anime for Rize, she has this, I don't want to say sympathetic view, but like almost like a, I don't want Kaguya to be viewed as pathetic, so I would take anything out like that from the manga. But she has this almost mystical presence, and especially at the end of Tokyo Ghoul, I feel like Kaguya could serve a role definitely similar to that.
Yeah, for sure. I can see that.
Yeah, I can see where you're going with that. I had a question though. I was watching this video, right, and it was talking about I think Ooh was on a podcast one time. It was talking about how the Shinju are like the predecessors of the Osusuki. So basically, like my twist on that is maybe Shiba is a little bit older than what we think he is, and he took Tel Beast and he mixed his DNA with it, and he created Shinju, and eventually they evolved into Osuskis that we see today. That's why they live for thousands of years because they have to grow.
Hmm.
So what was the question again? Can you like sum it up? Um, what the question is, please?
Oh, no, I just wanted to hear you guys' opinion on this. So, like, I was watching this YouTube video, and he was he didn't say this is like what's like he wasn't saying this is facts, but he was saying like the Shinju, right? You know how we got the Jura, all them. They're the beginning stages of Nosuski. So you know how Cold he put his claw marks into the tail beast and he split them apart, but he didn't know he was adding Shibai cells into those claw marks or whatever. And my theory is maybe the Shinju is like the beginning stages of a Osuski. Maybe Shiba is older than what he portrays himself to be or what we think he is, and he actually created the Osuski. Even though they call him the Osuski god, if you think about an Osuski god, a god creates. So he could have created the Osuski in his image, if that makes sense.
So basically, you're saying Shibai is the original Osusuki. He's the first Osusuki. He's the originator, the father, what you would call it, which would be better, is the godfather of the Osusuki clan.
Yeah, like he created them.
I mean, that would be that would be a badass thing. Hey, that would be badass, bro. That's a cool theory. I'm not gonna lie. And it makes sense. I mean, it's definitely possible, considering that we already have a sort of understanding that there are beings or organisms that can create, they can replicate themselves without the need of another person, right? Like you can have, I forgot what they call this process, Ood. If you do, you know what this process is called?
To become a
Whole
god?
process.
Well, not to become a god, but to replicate yourself without the need of another person.
Mitosis?
Or you know, or like how, you know, obviously humans have sex, right? You have a female and a male have sex and they're capable of reproducing.
So like
What I'm
asexual
saying is
production?
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Asexual reproduction, right? That
Oh
would,
shit.
yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So I mean, that's what
Mhm.
he would be doing, right? If he's producing other Osutsukis without the sex, or without, you know, another person, right? Just doing it by himself.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Like
yeah.
he's
That's
taking.
basically what you're saying. Yeah, that would be fucking crazy. That would be cool. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, that could be cool.
Yeah. And I mean, the only thing is, like, maybe you could question Amato, you know, because Amato's kind of giving the story. You have like Momoshiki also kind of buying into it too, or like giving part of the story. And it's like, well, they don't really mention nothing like this, but at the same time, if he's the first Otsutsuki, how the hell would they know? Like, how would Momoshiki know? How the hell would
Exactly.
Amato know? Because like Amato could never know,
Exactly.
unless somebody told him. But
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. If Shibai is thousands, maybe millions of years old, they don't know nothing about this guy. But like fairy tales and shit like that, or maybe
Yeah.
shit they have in the book. But you know, you can't always have everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess it depends on what you want to consider a god or what you call a god. And especially in Naruto, that gets really interesting since what's just basically an Easter egg to real life and what's supposed to actually have theological connections. For example, the Rinnegan abilities have obvious connections to theology. The Mangekyo Sharingan abilities, same thing as well. Shikamaru said to call him a god to Hidan. I don't think he meant that literally, but Amado, he's playing god, same as Orochimaru. He was being a god or playing god or whatever you want to say there. Can you become a god, or do you need to be the creator of existence itself from the beginning of time? Is that the only one true god? Is that what Hidan thinks Joshin was? There's just a lot of different possibilities. Like, Kaguya created her dimensions. That's a creation feat. Is Kaguya a god because she did that? Momoshiki says when you kill a god, you
But
get the karma seal.
there's
Was he actually a god? Or
but
was he a false god?
there's differences. There's a big god, a big G god, and a little G god. So you can say that Momoshiki is probably a god, but not but he's not a god at the elk of a Shibai.
So
He
then are we
can't
going
do
to
what
just say that
Shibai
the
is.
Otsutsuki god is a god? Are we going to define god as transcending reality? Would we say anyone that goes to the
Or
Pure
did
Lands is
he
a god?
not transcend reality?
Well, did Minato transcend reality?
What do you mean when he died?
Yeah, he went to the Pure Lands. Or what about Obito every time he goes to the Kamui dimension?
Yeah, but he also
Right? It's a godly feat.
wait, hold on, you cut out. You said Obito what?
Anytime Obito goes to the Kamui dimension, would you say he's being a god at that moment? It's a godly feat.
Mm,
He's transcending
I
reality.
mean, if I'm talking about like the Osuski god and he like created, I think you're misunderstanding what I'm saying. Like when I put him in a god aspect, I mean that like he created his own race.
Yeah, he's not saying like he's not saying he's a god because they address him as a god and they call him an Suzuki god. It's not like, oh well, I call Minato the god of, you know, the god of speed, right?
Yeah, or like
Because he
Hashirama
can
or Naruto, the
transcend.
god of Shinobi.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He's not using the name itself. I think he's used. I mean, partly it is partly like the name, but I think he's using it in conjunction with how they describe Shibai, like how they say, you know, he's basically like 5 dimensional or whatever, right? Like he transcends their like very existence, right? The very space that they exist in, and more particularly, he possesses the ability of Ada, which states that she can turn her desires into reality. Right?
Yes.
Like if he can control an ability that literally turns his desires into reality, yeah, he could create his own clan.
But then that's another thing. If you have a godly ability that you can control, does that make you a god? Would we consider Ada a god?
Yes, I would consider Ada a god. Yeah.
Okay. Because I'm thinking like naming aside of what people just call one another, what qualifies someone to be a god in Naruto or Boruto?
I think if we're operating,
I want to consider her. I want to consider her a god. I want to consider her a god.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Interesting.
I want to consider her a god. I would consider
like
her.
the thing about
I would consider her a person
with abilities. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm bad. I'm cutting out. I was saying I want to consider her a god, just a person with godlike abilities.
Sure, that's a fair interpretation. That's what I was gonna say. Like, whether or not we consider or don't consider these people gods is going to be reduced down to what we think God is. Like, if I think God is a pinky toe and these people have pinky toes, then yeah, I'm going to say they're God. But if I say that I think God is, an almighty being that can create things, the ultimate of all ultimate things, then yeah, if it fits that sort of interpretation, then I'm going to consider them a God. So, I mean, it just comes down to what your interpretation of it is or what definition you're utilizing to say or to define God.
I mean, you also got a couple more things in Naruto. You have like Buddhist monks that's already like a thing, and like Asuma's not clan, but Asuma's like organization. I forgot what they were called, but they were like something as well. You also have the spirits. They're called spirits, the tailed beast. Like the 9-tailed demon fox spirit is what it's referred to. The Tanuki spirit, the one tail. So we got spirits. It means there's probably some sort of god in theology there. You just got a lot of different aspects that could be considered God. Same with like blossoming truth seeker orbs. Is that a creation feat? Is that chakra based? What about Indra and Ashura with reincarnation? Was that a ninjutsu, or did they just choose to do that? Can they just choose to do that? So there's a lot of different ways.
Yeah, no, I get where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, totally. Hey guys, we've been going for 2 hours and 44 minutes. I got work in the morning, so Juju, I'm gonna hit you up probably tomorrow because we're gonna do another pod and we're gonna talk about some content because I'm starting a new channel.
Bet. I'm down, bro. Just hit me up.
All right,
let's
sure.
wrap her up.
I don't know how you. While we're here, before we end, how the hell you gonna like edit a whole fucking podcast video? You gonna do clips?
Edit a full podcast video. What do you mean?
Because we drop full podcast videos. Unless you want to do clips, clips is cool.
Yeah, I mean, I would just clip out the important parts or like the most entertaining parts of the podcast, specifically like the debating or the power scaling type of things, because that's mainly what people care about in the in the Boruto community. What people are starving of is like, all right, who wins between Ishiki and Jura? Like, people wants to know that shit. And I just feel like if y'all don't have to talk about that, you talk about theories and shit, but I think if clipping out those things, especially when people are arguing, like, people want to hear Bara be debate, dude. People want to hear.
I agree. Bara versus Mello is some of the most entertaining stuff because it's not just Mello; it's Mello facilitating Bara to talk. If you don't get Bara talking, Bara's not going to talk very much if other people are here.
Yeah, he's going to be disengaged. You got to ask Bara questions. You always got to keep Bara engaged because Bara was always like one of the heavy hitters of the podcast, and I feel like y'all need to put him more in his zone. And I feel like if that was to happen and you made me the editor of the podcast, I would literally just get those types of moments, clip those, and I would people will want to see that, bro. I'm sorry. Like, it'd just be so cool. Yeah, like, I miss having Mello versus Bara, bro. Like, Mello versus Bara was some of the most entertaining stuff of all time, bro.
Yeah, Mello went his separate ways. He'll be back on though. But Yeah, we'll talk process. I hit you up on Discord. I'll hit you with my number though, cause I'll be on there.
All right, bet. We should
All right.
also talk too. You gotta add me.
For sure. You're in the server, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah. We'll set something up. All right. Well,
All
it's
right,
a
cool.
pleasure talking with you, Free Game, and you too, Juju. And I hope you both have a very lovely night.
You too, brother.
Yeah, you too. And if you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe to Twitch. We're trying to get what is it, affiliated or monetized or however Twitch goes. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe, and we're gonna hit y'all with another one. Peace.
Peace.